So we get to do this again. It's once again the final matchup of the Midwest Division, and I'm going up against Utah Jazz. I've kept Jordan, obviously, but I've replaced the two street ballers with Tracy McGrady and Tim Duncan. I had to decide between Tim Duncan and Alonzo Mourning. I went with Duncan just because there's quite a bit more history. Obviously, these guys played in the same division. Well, the Spurs and the Jazz played in the same division for a long period of time. The Jazz knocked off the Spurs in Duncan's rookie year in '98 when they went into the playoffs in the second round. And additionally, in 2004, when Karl Malone was a Laker, the Lakers knocked them off as well in the second round as well. So I went with Tim Duncan, but also I felt like Karl Malone's not that great of a finisher in this game. He's not Antonio McDyess. I didn't need the slight improvement in shot blocking of an Alonzo Mourning, and Tim Duncan does a lot more with the ball and is a better scorer. Probably not as good as a Duncan, but once again, there's not a huge shot blocker on this Utah Jazz team, so I should be able to get away with it. And T-Mac is just a given because I play really well with him. He's a great defender. It's like having an additional big man, and he matches up well in terms of size with Donyell Marshall. But yeah, I wasn't playing around in this one, even though I got the ball stolen from me there from John Stockton, the all-time steals leader in the NBA. And the lead is only one at this point, but Jordan is just going to be ruthless in this game. 5-3 score now. I'm getting what I want when I want. I feel like even though it's only a 2-point ball game, considering some of the other games that have happened recently, that feels like a major win because I've started off very slow and found myself behind and relying on game breakers. That was a huge thing that I've missed with not using T-Mac in the last few games, is that ability to get that fake out and then the serving it up, and a huge combo. And there was a nice block by him, and then back on the other end he was able to miss a shot after getting the block, but transition he helps a lot. And I expect the same thing out of Kobe, to be honest. There's a slip and slide by Karl Malone. Who would have thought that? But John Stockton forcing up a 3 over Tim Duncan and T-Mac. Once again, I passed out of that. Now, I did that in a recent game with Steve Francis where I passed out of a short dunk expecting an alley-oop, but I was able to overcome that and get a nice little dunk by Jordan off the penetration, and I'm up 7-4. I'm getting blocks whenever I feel like it, but offensive rebounding is still killing me right here. It's been a problem the entire time in this game, which I suppose it keeps it competitive, but I've got a game break here. I'm not going to mess around with this game breaker. Jordan's going to cross him up, and bam, there's no one even in the picture, and I'm going to have a sizable lead with some good defense behind me. So 9-3, and I've got, Tim Duncan and T-Mac patrolling the lanes, along with Jordan, who's been getting some blocks against this Utah team as well. So I feel relatively in control, but I'm not going to take anything for granted, especially considering look, I got blown out last game. There's no question about that. There's I guess you could call it a 20-foot skyhook by John Stockton, because why not? And there's a nice dunk there. I don't think I could have passed that off to Jordan, even though he was flying in late. If I probably passed that to him, it would have been stolen. So I think I made the right decision. They've got a game breaker coming up, but I'm not too concerned with that right now. I've got a 6-point lead. And a 360 shot by Donyell Marshall that gets erased by T-Mac, I guess. I think it was a missed shot and I just got the board because I didn't get any points for it. But T-Mac, decides to emulate him. He does a 360 shot, albeit only 3 feet away from the basket. Stockton, I expected Stockton to be a little bit more dominant with the ball in terms of his ball handling and being able to break down and really cause some problems. But that's T-Mac throwing down a facial. I've got an 8-point lead here, and I'm not going to let up at all. Jordan with a nice block at the front of the rim again. T-Mac all alone, and it's 13-4, and this is the biggest lead at this point that I've had in any NBA Street game so far. I'm kind of daring them to shoot. If they want to take ones, they can take ones. There's no way they're coming back to take ones. Jordan getting crossed up. John Stockton burned him. That was a nice little combination there. Pity it never happened in real life. Tim Duncan absolutely serving up a facial on Karl Malone in the open court, and they're going to push the ball back down with Donyell Marshall. not a whole lot I could have done there. They're right at the game breaker, but even with a game breaker, look, even if they get a 4-point swing, they're still going to be down by 4, and I've got a sizable head start on my second game breaker, so I'm feeling well and truly in control here. Probably should have head faked there, but that's all right. Jordan stepped back and hit a 3, and now I'm up 16-6. This is getting ugly. This is getting really ugly, and you know what? It's a pity Brian Russell isn't playing this game right now. Here's Karl Malone out on the perimeter. There's a steal by Jordan, and this is going to get even. The lead's going to get even better with a nice dunk by alley-oop from Tim Duncan, and I'm up 17-6. Their game breaker is almost full, but at this stage it is completely redundant. They've got no chance of coming back on this one. John Stockton with a nice move. They get a game breaker here, but they're down by 10. I'm just going to dribble it out with Jordan. I could have easily thrown that alley-oop, but let's see if I can dribble it out. Trying to get Karl Malone over to me, I can't do it. Jordan's going to have to shoot a hook shot 3, which misses. But it's a shame that Vodafy couldn't have done that last game. I'm happy to give up the dunk, and that honestly doesn't make a difference. Remember I was talking to you before about Sean Marion having the cornrows. Donyell Marshall has cornrows as well, so they were quite prevalent back then. T-Mac didn't appreciate that, so he's going to throw it up and turn the ball over. Nearly rattled in off the serving it up. It'd be I haven't seen it actually go in a situation like that, but it'd be very cool if it could. I'm up 16-9. There is the chance that I could fall asleep here, but I'm not going to, because it's quite honestly, I didn't appreciate the way that last game ended. I've still got an 8-point lead, sorry, with only 4 points to go, and John Stockton's dribbling the ball up top, guarded by Jordan. I'm just swiping at the ball, seeing if that's actually a useful tactic or not. It's not, as Stockton hits a 3, and I'm up by 6. Jordan comes back down. Stockton playing some good defense there. I shouldn't have dribbled first. I would have had a wide open lane with T-Mac before pump faking it, but it's alright. Jordan in the post against Stockton is a monumental mismatch, and I'm still up by 7. Stockton shoots another 3, bricks that one with some good closeout from Jordan. T-Mac getting blocked, but able to get the ball back. I just want to regroup a little bit. T-Mac will shoot a jumper and miss it. Jordan getting the offensive board. That's the first offensive board. A slip and slide, and then a huge dunk. That was amazing play right there by MJ. All over Karl Malone as well. So I'm up 19-11, 8-point lead, only 2 buckets to go. Nice finish by Donyell Marshall with T-Mac all over him. And here's Timmy Duncan working on Karl Malone, nothing there. So I'll go to T-Mac, who puts up another 360 shot, which is the second one of him in the game. And I'm only 1 point away, so the last bucket will have to be by Jordan. I absolutely have to give it to him. Let's see if I can get a move similar to the final shot by him. Oh wow, I took the shot with T-Mac, I forgot that. Okay, now we've got... Let's see if we can get a crossover and play similar to the last shot. That will be sweet. That's close enough. That will roll in. That was kind of weak, but you know what? 21-13 is not a weak win. That's a blowout by any standards.